Okay, right now we've got 0 people watching, but we are going to wait for anybody else to join. So I'm Gabriel. Let me just send a text out to everybody. We are live. Okay. Let's let people respond. Okay. On SpaceX's mission, you're T-minus 9 minutes, so I'm going to hold that up a couple times because for some reason share screen's not working, and I'm really sorry about that. Let's see, we still have 0 people watching, except for my mom. Let me just write something in the chat. Okay, you should see you are here. Hi, hopefully you guys say hi. Got one watching, and that's my mom. But anyway, as we get ready for the launch, just know that it is. Oh, my mom just said hi. She was like, I know. But anyway, as we get ready for this launch, I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over what this launch is all about and what we're going to be doing. So it's on Starlink, and it's going to be launched by Falcon 9. Starlink and the Falcon 9 are both manufactured by SpaceX. Now there was a recent problem with SpaceX's Merlin engine, and they decided to test that problem with the Starlink satellites, since they don't care if it fails or breaks or whatever, because it's theirs and they won't have to pay a couple $1 million. They'll just lose a couple million. But anyway, let's take a look right back at the launch.
For this particular booster, it will be flying for the 6th time today. Its first mission was in March of 2019 on our first commercial crew demonstration mission, and then again on RadarSat 3 months later. It also supported 3 Starlink missions this year, with the most recent being our 10th Starlink mission in August. We will also be attempting to recover the first stage on our drone ship. Of course, I Still Love You. There is a shot right there.
So now we're going to talk about landing and reusing SpaceX's vehicles. So, as you may know, they launch, land, and obviously reuse. Sorry, that's my dog. They obviously reuse their boosters. So as you saw the drone ship there, they're going to launch it up. The 2 stages are going to separate. The second stage is going to go into orbit, and then the first stage is going to come right back down and land right in that drone that you saw. And as you know, it's autonomous. It's fully nobody's on it. It's fully autonomous, so that nobody could get hurt. And as you know, Starlink is not manned, so nobody will be on it. Oh, okay. I just saw my grandfather. Let's see. So good, we've got some more people besides my mom watching. So, if you want to take a look at the live stream here, I'll just
fully loaded on both stages, and LOX will continue to be topped off right until the last minutes of the countdown.
Okay, so LOX is their liquid oxygen, which is what they use to power the vehicle. So obviously, as we get ready for this launch, I recommend buckling up for a fantastic one. We are just 5 minutes away, 5.5 minutes. Right, we've finished engine chill. Oh, here they're going to catch the fairings, and so you can see the fairing there. They're going to catch the fairings. The fairings, what the Falcon 9's in, or what the payload's in. It's here. Look, so you see that tiny little so if you have any questions, if you just want to say hi, just drop it in the chat. Here to answer any questions. Next up, we're about to have strong backtrack, which is what is currently holding up the Falcon 9, as you can see right behind it. And also going back to the fairing part, you can see the fairing where the payload's is. Right over there. Okay. But anyway, I hope you guys. Okay. So. 1 second. Okay, so hope you guys are all enjoying once again. We are T-minus 4 minutes away. The next upcoming big event is going to be the startup, which will happen at T-minus 1 minute. Startup is when they give the vehicle full control and then it is all ready to go. And anyway, after startup, we have liftoff and 0 astronauts. Why no astronauts? Well, if they launched astronauts, they only launch astronauts every so often because of how dangerous and sure.
That's it already.
Okay. So because of how dangerous and how costly it is, and this is just a satellite launch, and they need to launch satellites even more often than astronauts because satellites study the Earth, astronauts just hang out in space, but they do study some. They do study some things. T-minus 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Once again, here is the fairing that I was talking about. The Starlink satellites are inside of that. So, if you want a nice satellite, that's the place to look. Get out of Lola really wants. Oh yeah. One thing. Let me just add this. So we are going to just take a quick little break here, and we'll see you guys in 30 seconds. Okay, so we brought our dog into this. She wanted to be right in the middle of it. Anyway, we're at T-minus 1 minute and 45 seconds.
I have a couple more
40
questions.
Oh, Jimmy Davidson asked, what kind of satellite? Now, the kind of satellite that is a Starlink satellite is meant for global communication and better network in remote places. So, any other questions? Okay, what's the main purpose of the mission? So the main purpose of the mission is to launch the Starlink satellites. Sorry to interrupt, but we are at startup right now. Is to launch the Starlink satellites, but they recently saw a problem with the Falcon 9, and because Starlink is SpaceX's own satellites, they are going to test it on themselves. But anyway, we're at T-minus 40 seconds, almost there. There's a Falcon 9 standing tall and proud. We're past 20 seconds. 15, 14. Alright, let's listen in.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition and liftoff.
Okay, it looks like the Merlin engine problem is solved. They have a liftoff. We are at T plus 15 seconds. Low level, what are you guys looking? Just went through a cloud there.
Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from pad 39A at Kennedy Space Center, carrying our Starlink payload to its targeted drop-off orbit. Moments ago, we've begun to throttle down our engines on the first stage in preparation for Max Q. Max Q is where the vehicle will experience the highest amount of aerodynamic pressure.
Okay, so like he just said, Max Q is coming up in just a few. And they throttle down for it so that, there we go, that's Max
We
Q.
just passed Max Q. In a couple of minutes, we'll have 3 events happening back to back. First is the main engine cutoff, also known as MECO. This is where all 9 Merlin engines on the first stage will shut down to slow the vehicle down in preparation for stage separation.
Obviously, Lowell's not
Stage
going to
separation
space,
is where the first and second stage will separate from one another, with the first stage making its way back towards Earth for landing, while the second stage continues its journey with the third event, which is second engine start 1, also known as SES-1. This is where the single engine on the second stage, our Merlin vacuum engine, lights up and will continue to propel the second stage along with the Starlink satellites to orbit.
You see that little
We're
kind of
about
shooting star?
25 seconds away from main engine cutoff.
That Lowell goes away.
Some really cool footage of Falcon 9.
Okay, we are coming up on MECO, which is when the main engine cuts off. You'll see it in just a sec. There's the
Stage separation confirmed.
Stage separation confirmed. Let's see. Second stage ignition number 1. We have that. Successful launch there.
All right, we had successful main engine cutoff, stage separation, and our second stage engine is now up on power on the right-hand side of the screen. Again, on the left-hand side of the screen is our first stage. It's going to make its way back to Earth to attempt landing for the 6th time on our drone ship in the Atlantic Ocean. Next event coming up is fairing deploy. Should happen just a few seconds from now. Fairing separation confirmed.
And fairing separation confirmed. You can see the fairings.
And off goes those fairing halves, and now exposing the 60 Starlink satellites to space.
Those fairings are going to go back
As a
to
reminder,
Earth.
we will be attempting to recover the fairing halves today using our rotary ships Miss Tree and Miss Chief. We'll make the call about 2 minutes before they land, depending on the weather and the sea states.
So,
There's a question, is this a SpaceX or not?
this is a SpaceX launch. They're launching their rocket. They're launching their rocket with their satellite, so it's fully SpaceX.
We're just over T plus 4 minutes to flight, and as the second stage heads towards its targeted drop-off orbit, the first stage.
Although, as you know, SpaceX is, or NASA's funding almost all SpaceX's launches, so it's mostly SpaceX, but NASA's paying for a lot of it.
As it re-enters the upper parts of the Earth's atmosphere. The second burn is the landing burn. This is a single engine burn that brings the vehicle speed down rapidly in order to land on the drone ship. The first burn, the entry burn, should happen around the T plus 6 minute and 20 second mark, while the second burn will happen around the T plus 8 minute mark.
So I've got a fun fact for you. All of these, the announcers, and they're all different depending on the mission, but all these announcers, they're all SpaceX facility workers. They're all a part of it. They all build the rocket. They all do a lot of stuff. So that's really important. And So they know they have the behind the scenes scoop.
We're sending 60 more up there to join the existing 750. So after today's mission, we'll have 800 Starlink satellites up there.
So
Satellites stay powered down until after stage separation, until after they separate from the second stage.
Once again, any more questions, I'd be happy to answer, or you can just continue watching.
You might be able to see some periodic bursts of gas from the first stage. That is nitrogen gas from our attitude control systems. Those help to orient the rocket as it continues to fall back towards Earth.
Okay, it's almost 6 minutes now.
We're just about 20 seconds away from the first of two burns, first stage entry burn.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
You can see the
Stage 1 FTS is saved.
okay,
Three
they
Merlin
just
engines
started
have
up the
relit
engine.
and are now slowing the first stage down before they hit the upper parts of the Earth's atmosphere. A few more seconds left on this burn.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
Okay,
All right,
Successful entry
the
burn.
second burn will be happening about 90 seconds from now.
so that was to help slow it down before it hits upper atmosphere, so that doesn't burn any of the engines, and also so that could slow down so that it could land on the drone ship. Let's come back in.
Produce over 220,000 pounds of thrust in a vacuum.
Oh, they just lost connection. That's
Produce over 220,000 pounds of thrust in a vacuum.
okay. Can I just say one thing? Whenever you have a question, you can just post it on chat.
I can read the question, see if,
Okay.
what interests you the most from those explorations?
Well, what interests me the most is actually just like the fact of this.
We're about 30 seconds away from the beginning of our second and final burn.
It's just like the fact of going on an airplane and flying above space is just like, or above normal airplanes or anything else is just interesting to me.
Final burn, about 22 seconds. Let's see if we can land this first stage for the 6th time.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Just want to be getting a view of the landing burn and
Terminal guidance.
oh, there we go.
There's a view of our
Stage 1
drone ship.
landing like deploy.
Landing like deploy, so you're going to see it glow red hot. There you go.
Oh,
And touchdown confirmed. We got the
And
picture.
right down the middle, Falcon 9 has landed. This particular booster has landed for the 6th time. This marks our 62nd successful recovery of a Falcon 9 first stage.
Gabriel, how did they get
And
it
the
to land
32nd
so
time we've
perfectly
landed.
like that?
Well, so it just takes a lot of practice. So basically, they tried it a couple of different ways, and they make it so that the computer like they keep on like they try different ways to land it. Like they start landing burn here. Maybe that's too early. Trying different ways, doing a lot of algorithms, and then they come to a final. They come to a final one. And they put it in the. They add it in the remote guidance control in the Falcon 9, and then they try it. And that's how it works every time.
So practice makes perfect.
And it's also just about the computers. They know what they're doing. Let's listen in.
Take a short cut, leave you with an animation that shows you where we're at in the coast phase. We'll see you back here at the T+43 minute mark for the relight of our second stage.
Okay, you heard him. We are going to come back in about 30 minutes. We're going to take a break now, and we'll see you guys soon. Hope you guys enjoy. pixels. Okay, so hopefully you could hear us. I'm assuming you can. I'm sorry that the video is not working. Okay, where do the satellites go? These satellites go to orbit, which is a circle around Earth. So when they launch to orbit, they're going. It depends on the mission normally, but they're going. It's on.
Oh, okay.
And it goes to orbit. That really depends on the mission. This one's going, I think, to the stationary orbit, which is a normal one. Thank you, Sydney.
Where were you before?
Your mother.
There you go, it's working. Sorry about that. I fixed it. Okay, we're going to take a break for a little bit longer, then I'm going to join in the conversation, and we're going to get right to it. Thank you guys so much. Okay, welcome back. We are sorry about the issue with my video. Let's bring my mom back in here. We're sorry about the issue with the video, and we were able to get that resolved by doing it on a new tab. So pretty funny. So as we get ready for the satellite separation, just know that these are all SpaceX's satellites, and SpaceX was founded by Elon Musk. If you haven't seen the video, I recommend checking it out. All about SpaceX. I hope you guys are enjoying the live stream so far. We're sorry this shared. It said to use Chrome instead, but Chrome just sent us this far, so no. But anyway, banner. Oh, there you go. Will might join us here. But anyway, hope you're enjoying. Any questions, feel free to write in the chat. Oh, crazy rumors, or my sister said it works. So good. Thank you everybody for your tremendous support. Any questions? Once again, feel free to write it in the chat. Once again, thank you. As we get ready for launch, separation, just be ready for a buckle up, because when they separate, it's actually a big jolt. You might see it in the movie Apollo 13. So I'm gonna go get the live stream back, and we'll see you guys soon. Okay, we're back here. Apparently, it's actually not satellite operation. It's actually just the second stage ignition and second stage cutoff. If you can see it on the stream, yes, it's extra good. So as we make our way, we're going to burn is going to make it so that it positions itself a little bit differently, so the satellites enter the right orbit, and so that the global communication network works. Okay? We are 7 minutes from that, and 6 minutes now. And it's currently moving at a speed of 26,890 kilometers an hour, and altitude is 237 kilometers. So they're at their highest point, and they're not at their highest speed, but they are going fast and they are pretty high. So
We got some questions.
Oh, some questions in the chat. Okay. What's a burn? Okay, so a burn, let me just put in that. A burn obviously you know what a burn is, but a burn when you're talking about space is when they basically fire the engines again. There are many types of burns. It could be a second stage burn out in outer space, or a burn when they're for liftoff. So burn's just firing the engines. Okay? So thank you, Sydney, for that. Okay, 5 minutes until that burn. Now that you know what a burn is, in case you didn't know before, I'm glad you know. Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys some of our upcoming launches. Let's see here. So obviously we just saw that Starlink satellite launch right over here. I'm not sure about that. Probably not, since are so unpredictable. The Electron and Focus, I'm hoping we're able to do that. And then Starlink 14. I don't think so. I think it's on a weekday, so no. Let's see. My grandfather Howard said, "Is a burn you change direction as well as speed?" Yeah, it could. It depends on what the burn is for. This upcoming burn is to change direction or kind of get to the right orbit, and it's also to gain a little bit more speed so that the satellites stay in orbit. Whereas if it's going at a certain speed, it will fall down. And they all have to do a lot of mathematics for this, but mathematics done this is like if they normally want to keep satellites in for about 20 years in orbit for about 20 years, so they have to figure out how long they have to burn it for, if it slows down and stuff like that. So yeah, it's used for both the launch. When they launch, that burn is used to obviously change direction. It doesn't want to be just down here. It wants to go north to orbit, and it's also used for speed, so that it can stay in orbit. Sorry, it's backwards. Let's pull up the live stream again here. Be getting ready. We're 3 minutes away. Now let's take a look at the live stream here. There you can see on the bottom, right over here, that says SECO. It says SCS1, which stands for Second Ignition Stage 2, and SECO, which is Second Engine Cutoff, and it's obviously going to be the second one. So I'm trying to figure out where they currently are. Not really. Okay, so they just passed over Africa. They're in the Indian Ocean, as you can tell. There's Africa. There's Russia. So that's the Indian Ocean. So everything's looking good as we come up on it. Any other questions? Oh, we just had the fairings. Oh, they just had fairing catch. They caught the fairings. That's good. Let's see if I can. Here. It's coming up. Let's see the fairing catch. There's a fairing. That's after it got caught. So that's good. Oh,
When is your favorite rocket one?
I think Falcon 9 is one of my favorite rockets, but before I knew the Falcon 9, I'm pretty sure my favorite was the Delta IV Heavy. Let's see if I can find a pic. I'll find a picture of both. Delta IV Heavy. To me, the Delta IV Heavy just looked astonishing, and it's obviously huge. But here it is, the Delta IV Heavy. Now, you should know the Falcon 9. I'll find that. Falcon 9. Here's a Falcon 9. Now, there is an upcoming of the Delta IV Heavy, although it's had many delays. It was first, they said they were going to launch it on August 30th. And then they found an issue in the fuel tanks. So then they decided that they couldn't launch it, and they had a couple more times, but they still found the same problem. They finally resolved the engine problem, and now it just got delayed because there's a problem with the swing arm, which is what holds it steady, and then right before launch it moves away. So they can't launch with that because then it'll end up in a big fiery explosion. That's not good. Any other questions? Oh, looks like my sister's getting ready to send one. Let's see. Let's go back to live stream since we see live soon. Okay, we're at T plus 40 minutes, which means that it launched 40 minutes ago. The live stream's been on for 50 minutes. Sorry, Billy's growling. Sydney, what's your question because it hasn't appeared yet? So, how many times did the Falcon 9 launch? That's a really good question. There are many versions of the Falcon 9. In general, I'm not sure, but I think let's see, how many times has the Falcon 9 launched? Well, I think it launched like the Block 5. No. I think it's gone like 16. It's launched like 69 times. Block 5, and then like over 104 in general. So let's see. But so one time I was reading an article. This is funny. On a trusted website, it said the Falcon 9 just ended Scrubtober because they've been scrubbing a lot, and so yeah, luckily they didn't scrub again. But here we're back to the view of the Falcon 9 of the second stage as we get ready for an expert. So what you see that is actually a little pipe putting some exhaust out so that they don't really damage the engine because it's cold and hot in space, but at that part it's cold. And we're coming up soon. Oh, how many times did the Delta Phi launch? I'm not sure. I'll answer that question. Find an answer after. No, I'll just do it now. I think it's somewhere around 40 times. So it's been. I really don't know how many times it's been launched. But what I do know is that we're coming up on second stage ignition.
14th Starlink mission. If you're just joining us, we had successful liftoff of Falcon 9 from Pad 39A at Kennedy Space Center. We were able to recover our first stage on the drone ship in the ocean and successfully enter our first coast phase. We're now waiting on the relight of our second stage MVAC engine. That should occur in the next few seconds. This burn is a very short one.
Let's see, I think
Shortly after the burn, we'll wait for confirmation of a good.
okay, let's see, come on, light that candle. There we go, they have ignition of the second stage for the second time. Let's see when, now waiting on SECO, which is second engine cutoff.
You saw on screen. Did restart the engine.
Nominal orbit insertion.
Okay,
That's what we need to hear.
that's SECO.
Now the second stage is going to coast once again for the next 18 minutes or so. During this time, it will start to spin along its central axis, giving the Starlink satellites the momentum they need to space themselves out after deploying. We'll see you back here around the T+1 hour and 2 minute mark.
Okay, you heard him. We're going to go take another short break, and then we will go ahead and continue live streaming for the satellite deployment. We'll see you guys later. Okay, we are back. Let me just put this back. Welcome back, everybody. If you're still with us, good job. We're almost done with the launch. Thank you all for watching. Let's take a look. We're getting ready for satellite deploy, which is called deploy. If you take a look, which I'm going to show you. Sorry, once again, I'm really sorry about the screen sharing not working. It was terrible, but we fixed it out for next time. We can't do it this time though. By the way, make sure to check out our next launch. I'm going to post it in the chat. Our next launch live stream. So let me just get it up. Let's see, we'll be going live soon for that launch in 2 days. Let me just post it in the chat if I can find it. There we go. Share, copy the link. Okay, but anyway, we're getting ready for deploy of the satellites. We're getting ready for deployment of the satellites. So the link was just posted in the chat. Hopefully you guys see it. I'll also put it up there. That's the link to the next live stream. So let's go back to the SpaceX live stream. Once again, thank you all for watching. But you're not done yet, since we've got deployment of the satellites any second now. Like a minute. Here, let's take a look at the live stream here. 1 hour. Yeah, it's been 1 minute or 1 hour since launch. Once again, thank you all for joining us for this launch as we get ready for deployment. Just be sure to check out our other our Electron live stream, which will be going live on Tuesday at 5 o'clock for 5:14 to 6:03 launch. Not sure what time, but anyway, we're getting so close to deployment. It's almost over. Lola's giving me some licks because she's really happy that it's almost over. She wants to play with me. Once again, here it is. As we get ready for one minute till deployment, and hopefully you all are ready for the Starlink satellite launch to come to it. Once again, thank you all for joining. I'm Gabriel, and I just want to say my goodbyes now since we're going to be rushing out of here soon. So, we've got the live views back here of the second stage as we get ready for deploy. Deploy is going to be deploying the satellites, or the second stage is going to be deploying the satellites. It's 60 small satellites. It's all going to leave in one big bunch, and then it's going to slowly separate. It's going to be spinning on its axes so that it goes in different ways. Almost there, almost deploying. And there's a view. Come on, play those satellites. Let's listen in.
Coming up on the deployment of our 60 Starlink satellites. Thus far, we've seen successful liftoff, stage separation, first stage recovery on our drone ship, and 2 successful second engine starts. The second stage has been spinning along its central axis, giving these Starlink satellites the momentum they need to space themselves out after they deploy. Each of these satellites weighs approximately 260 kilograms and features a compact design that minimizes volume, allowing for a dense launch stack to take full advantage of Falcon 9's launch capabilities. Starlink satellites are also equipped with efficient ion thrusters powered by Krypton that enable the satellites to orbit raise, maneuver in space, and deorbit at the end of their useful life. Starlink is, in fact, the first Krypton-propelled spacecraft ever flown.
Wow.
And we're just a few seconds away from payload deploy, so let's listen in for the call-out of payload deploy.
Will it happen soon? Let's listen in. Almost there. Thank you all for making it this far. Come on, just one more. You've got this. And there we go. There goes the arm. There, it's deployed.
Now you can see on screen these satellites slowly separating from the second stage.
So now that the deployment has happened, we're over. So basically, you see that the big thing there, that's carrying all the 60 satellites. And then at the eventually, when it's time for them all to come out, when they reach their respective places, it just deploys the satellites. Because they're small sats, which are small satellites, it'll be pretty easy. So now that will do it for us. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to put a 30-second timer. That will give you 30 seconds to get out of here. So thank you all for watching. As always, I'm Gabriel. Thanks for watching Space Daily. Once again, make sure to check out our live stream of the Electron launch. Thank you all.